Hi there, this week's question is, why does a nearly full phone battery just die? My name is Steve, this is TQA Weekly. This scenario is not unique and it is inevitable. It will happen to everyone one day, maybe multiple times. It depends on it whether or not you take care of the batteries or you abuse them. I'll give you a few tricks, but there is only one solution to avoid this altogether, and we'll get to that after. So your device battery is more than likely a lithium ion or polymer battery, but this does affect every battery that requires chemistry to function. So just bear in mind that. Also, what's going on is that your phone is basically calculating capacity based on the known start value as well as the voltage, and it might integrate the age of the battery at the same time, but there's no way to really tell that. What you really would need to know is what the battery percentage of the voltage is, as well as the capacity, and having both of those values at the very top. Because a battery capacity of 100% with the battery voltage of 100% is not the same as a battery capacity of 20% with a voltage of 100%. There is a 80% difference in duration in that scenario. And that is what's actually going on when we're talking about a phone that looks like it's completely charged, but just suddenly dies in your hand. What's going on is the capacity of the phone is so severely degraded that even if it could push out temporarily the voltage required to read 90% or 100%, it doesn't last long enough to feel like the phone's doing anything and therefore just dies in our hand. And this is the issue. Batteries that are functioning on chemistry will have a tendency to lose their ability to continue that chemistry to the fullest ability without degradation. It is entropy that is occurring in that battery, and eventually that will completely degrade the battery to the point where your device will no longer function. In the cases of batteries, you have to keep them cool, never expose them to heat. You have to charge them slowly, so charging them fast seems like a great idea. It is a horrible idea. It just means that you're able to get a fast charge out of the battery, but it's not good for the battery chemistry whatsoever. So anybody out there that thinks it's great, it's not. There's a reason why you can go from 0 to 50 instantly, but once you start getting above that, your phone charges slower. It is to keep the battery chemistry in a safe state. Anything higher is just too high for those batteries. You also have the age of the battery. Like, even if you just stored the battery and never did anything with it, the chemistry itself would simply just degrade by itself. So whether or not you abuse the battery or not at all, you will degrade the battery over time as well as with use, and therefore it means that the battery will die. What is the solution? Knowing that the battery will die no matter how you treat it. And we're not even addressing batteries with flaws in them that are defective. Well, the only solution to that is to change the battery. Harder now was easier. We will get to that point in the future where we'll simply be able to change the battery ourselves. This will be something that we're going to have to fight for, but we will be able at one point to change our batteries ourselves, and therefore that is the primary solution for all devices, especially if we want to be eco-friendly and keep our devices for longer and just change the batteries themselves. Because in just about every scenario, if you have never dropped your device, including your phones, at all, and you have taken care of them, the battery is the only issue in many cases, and therefore you'd be able to replace that and continue on using it. Because most of us don't use our phones for tasks that are so intensive that we need to upgrade them every 6 months. So there is a good chance that at one point we'll simply change the batteries, and that is the solution to avoiding this inevitable situation for everyone. You simply won't be able to avoid it. It will happen to you. You will have a device, it will look fully charged, it will simply die in your hands. Nothing you can do about it. So this is why it can look like it's fully charged, but it isn't. Because the capacity is no longer there, and the capacity is the number that is missing at the top right. Battery voltage be damned, that number doesn't mean very much if you only have a fraction of the capacity left. Like this episode if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those you think can benefit from this, and do not forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can see the show notes on this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and of course, use the contact form to email me directly. And of course, if you want to see me play video games, head over to twitch.tv/zaxis1981, where you can see me play every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.